Good morning and welcome. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd. And again, we're working on, sorry about that, time to record. We're working on 52 weeks of scrapbooking. My name is Denise Cowell and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor in Ormond Beach, Florida. And today we are on week 38. So remember, let's jump to my desk. Remember that you can either, if you don't have the book, you can go to my Scrapbooking with Denise Facebook group and get the original project recipe. So this one is Let the Good Times Roll. You can see I have it underneath to show you. So this was from November 2021, and you can find those at the bottom of the project recipe when they came out. So this is, like I said, you Let the Good Times Roll. You can see some changes that I did to the project recipe, and we'll review it again later. I didn't do this picture that went across with the two banners. I just ended up doing 4 pictures. I also added a picture here instead of the journaling boxes. I made them a little bit different size, and I didn't use a punch or the circles. I just put a sticker strip across. And today we're going to do something a little bit different too. So let me get this out of the way and get what we're doing onto my desktop. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that we do is kind of compare, excuse me, the project recipe to make sure there's no changes that we need to note. I don't see anything that's different. So what we're going to need for this is 2 sheets of designer paper for your background, and I'm actually going to use Golden Harvest. We did fall last week also where I used one of the older ones. Hello Autumn. The new fall collection out is Grateful Harvest, which the project recipe and project playbook will be on my YouTube. And so I'm going to kind of do it the same. So I'm going to still use, they have the yellow diamond on one side with these brown leaves on the other. And I thought this would be good still for our Arizona trip in October with all the fall leaves. And then you need 3 sheets of designer paper. Designer paper A is only going to be these 2 here. So I have this plaid. I don't have that one anymore. And then you're going to need one that you like both sides of, because that's going to be all of our squares, diamonds. If you don't like both sides, then you can use 2 sheets of paper. So I do have that, the dark brown, and then that tangerine type color. And then you need, they use bronze shimmer. I actually had a piece, this is called Paprika. I like this because it's a muter orange color. I liked how it went with it. You're going to need your 12-inch trimmer. These squares are 1 3/4. I'm going to do 1 square, cutting them with the 12-inch trimmer, and then we're going to use the punch for the other one. You're also going to need your custom cutting circles with the red, blue, green blade and all of them to make all these different circles here. And I am not going to do a punch. So T and U are the punches. You remember in the other one I showed you I used a sticker. I am going to see how these work. Golden Harvest had some really nice layered border embellishments, and I bought 2 packages, so I'm going to see if these work. I'm thinking these pages would be really good when we're hiking in the canyon and see all the fall colors, so I'm going to try that. So let me get this all ready and let's get going. Designer paper number 1, again, is these 2 that are in the green. They are your top and bottom pieces. And maybe let's bring over the book because I'm kind of doing this one. So they're going to be those 2 plaid. So those are going to be 3 inches. I'm not using the back, but I want to make sure that if I'm using it for another project, it's going the right direction. Oh, that's from another project. And let's get this at 3 inches. And then one will be for the left side, and then another one at 3 inches will be for the right side. And then we'll just put this rest of that away for another project. The next one is going to be all of those 1 3/4 inch. So let's cut the first one. And again, this isn't going to make a different 4 direction other than the mats. And I still think This is non-directional, so we'll just kind of go with that. So we're going to cut this at 1 3/4, which I cut on the right hand side. And then again, you can just turn this and we will cut these all at 1 3/4 inch. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one, excuse me, is 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll leave this one. We're going to make this into a banner. Now, you could use your punch. Now, the problem is with this one is that there is no leftover paper, right? So if you use the punch, you're going to have to use it upside down, and you're going to have to make sure that you are right at each edge so you are not wasting any paper how I'm lining that up. So I'm thinking because there's no extra paper here, I'm just going to keep cutting it with the 12-inch trimmer because I don't want to have less paper like I did last week when I used a regular punch instead of a border maker. And I have to change up my mats. Okay, and these ones are going to be reversed, and again, they're going to be 1 3/4, 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have that 3 1/4 inch one. Okay, the rest of this is mats, so if you don't cut mats, you don't have to do that. The other thing is this, if you do cut mats, we're going to cut these 2/4 inch pieces first because otherwise that's going to be really hard to cut at the end. So we're going to cut it 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is at the end of the gray mat here. Here's 1/2 inch. So this is 1/4 inch, and we're going to do 2 of those. So it's 1. And make sure that you're holding all of your paper. I always find that when I'm doing these ones, I get them, I don't know, wavy, different lengths. Just hold your whole paper. You may want to start in the middle also, and that might make it a little bit more even because I think that one's uneven. And then we have 3 4x6 mats. So this paper should be 8 inches, and it's exactly 8 inches. So we'll cut this in half at 4. And I'm just going to stack these and line them up and cut them in half at 6. We only need 3 of them. We don't need all 4. So we'll put one away for another project. And 2 of them are going to be one color and one is the other. Okay, our last thing is our cardstock, and I'm not using pumpkin. I said I'm using that paprika. I'm not cutting the borders. So whatever you're using for your borders, here they use that leaf punch that we used last week. You could use that. Whatever's going with your theme, make sure that it's a chain style border and cut 2 of those. And if you happen to use, that one is a standalone punch, you know, so the border maker will be smaller, but either way will work. So we're going to skip those because I'm going to use these 2. And then we're going to do 4 that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then we're going to use these ends here to do some circles. So let's see, I don't need my arm, so I'll put that away. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, 2 of those. Save these for circles. It's going to be a little limited there. I was trying to maybe cut this out first, but we'll get it to work. And this is 3 1/4. We do have this whole big sheet left too. And I have more left because I didn't do T and U on here. So you'll have your 2 borders out of this paper. This for my circles. So this one's going to be 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. And those are for my circles. So let me put my cutter away and let me get out my circles and I'll be right back. Okay, so what we need is the smallest circle. And if we read the instructions here, and it's optional. It says use the red, green, and blue blades on the inside of the smallest circle. So let's do, and you need 9. So I was trying to look, it looks like there's like 3 of each color. So let's just do, and let's see what we can actually get on here, right? Red is going to cut the furthest, so they're going to be the biggest. Sorry, red cuts the closest, so these will be the biggest on the inside and the smallest on the outside. So let's see what we can get. We need 3 of each. So that's 1. Oh, I can get 3 here. Make sure your feet are in. Make sure it cuts all the way through. I try to use this, keep it as close to the other ones as possible. So that's 3 red ones, and I have a little tail on that, but I'll cut that off. So that's 3 of the biggest ones. Now I'll do 3 green and 3 blue, and we will start putting this together. Gives you a chance to use all. So green, I can have this going over a tiny, bit. You can see what happens when you don't get your feet in there. And again, if you're trying to save paper and don't know how close these are going to be, get out your mat and you can see, look, I can get a blue one. See here, I could fit a blue one down here in this space, so I'm not wasting any paper. Don't put this underneath and cut. Make sure you kind of put it on top. Look down. I think I need to go a little bit up. I think that should be good, and you can see that it's off the paper, but fingers crossed that when I cut this very slowly, because I know I'm close to the edges. There we go. And I didn't push hard enough. Oh, I got it punched out. Perfect. Okay, I don't think I can fit any more. So now I need 2 more of each. 2 more green, 2 more blue, and we'll have our 9 circles. This paprika is a little bit thicker cardstock than the regular, our cardstock now. It's a little bit heavier. Get my feet in. You can see if you don't, you scratch the paper, right? Make sure your feet are in. I keep missing that one. It's 2. Now I have 3 of those. And you see, because it's thicker, I'm not going all the way through. And we have 3 of those and 2 more blue ones, and we will be good to go. How often do you get to use your custom cutting system? Do you use it a lot? Do you use it for pictures or just paper or both? You map your titles on it. Let me know what you use it for, and if you'd want more classes using your custom cutting circle system or the circle cutter, because I have that one also. Okay, we have our 9 circles. I can still cut some more out of there. So let me put this away so I don't cut myself, and we will get going on putting this together. Okay, so as I said, my yellow was going to be going on this side. I did like this plaid better, but I used it on a different page, so I'm hoping this plaid will work. Then we have this 3-piece, which is B on this right side. These 2 1/4-inch pieces are going over top to kind of make and cover that seam. And it brings them together. So now what we can do, so we need all of our squares, and we will rotate them. So we're going to rotate them across the page. You will have 5 on each side. And you know what I'm going to do? Here's another question that I have for you. Would you like me to attach more as we're on this recording? I try to do them quickly so you're not just watching me attach everything. I usually just dry fit. But would you like to see more of me attaching, or are you good with just the dry fit? I have lots of questions for you today. Let me just bring in my silicone mat. Now, if you're using this repo and you're using it on your 13-inch mat, it will leave marks, and you do need to get those off of there quickly. I really try not to use my mat. Sometimes I do. But I try not to do that because I don't like cleaning it. I'm going to do one side today. We're just going to dry fit the right, and I'll attach on the left. Oh, it's good. You can still see that. So we're going to put these, and with this plaid paper, it's really easy to line them up. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. I do dry fit first. I want to make sure I can get them on. It looks like they just need to possibly be overlapped just the tiniest of the bit. So I'm going to start when I attach them with the outside ones, but I'm going to put these ones down here. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's do these. I would use Repo. Just a little bit. This one's going to have to be at one end. I have 3 inches, so it should be at the 10.5 inch mark. And just do them straight, and then I'll do this one at the 1.5 over here. Just make sure it's straight. You also have to watch with Repo, because I really like Repo, but if you get it on here, it'll sometimes pull off the color. So even though it's repositionable and you can move it, it will pull the color. So this one should be at 6 inches. So that'll kind of give me an idea of where I should be. Okay, and this one, it's just a tiny bit overlap, and you won't see that. This one I can pull over a bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this on there. Oh, I do like it, and it just brings that color underneath. And then I'll do this one over here. These 2 pieces, these are our 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. You can actually just fold those, and we will make those into banners. Okay, and there'll be one on each side, so we'll save those. And let's get our mats placed. I will not need this right now. And let's see, so we have our paprika mats. There's going to be one up here, one here. And if you don't like putting them on an angle, you don't need to. I did in the other one. And then down on this side, we have 2 down here. These large ones, what's going to happen is we will have one here. This one's going to get cut in half and go across the page. Now, for me, I wouldn't cut that yet because I don't know if I actually have a picture that's going to go across the page, because I could move them over and have them this way. And don't forget, we have that other mat left, right? I might just put 2 4x6s like right across the page like that, or cut them down a tiny little bit like I did in this one. I made them a little bit smaller and went straight across the page, and you can see I did 3 smaller ones here at the bottom. I had more pictures, so I would maybe not cut that one in half right now till you get your pictures. Keep the other one here with it. Now, if you did cut it across the page, that is where our banners go. They would go here. And I lost one. Oh, there it is. And this one would go on this side. So it is cool. I like it. But see what you have for your pictures before you cut this down. Now our circles. If we kind of do the circles, I'm just going to leave it like, let me just push these together. So then we'll go like this. We'll pretend it's all attached. Okay, so what they have is, they have a big one here. They have 2 smaller ones down here. I'm going to put a medium one up there, a medium, and a small one over here. Might not be because I have 2 big ones left. Oh, I'm going to put a big one here. Put a big one here with a small one, and then I have 2 mediums. I think I'm going to switch these up. We'll put a medium here, and we'll put a 3 over here. a big one, a medium, and a small. Okay, let's take a look at some of the embellishments on here. And I do have my embellishments. So we can see what stickers they put here. And this one also came with some really nice embellishments, not even just the stickers, they're laser cut. So these are gorgeous with the golds in them. So I might use some of these. Let's see what they did. Kind of used oh, they had one that says autumn. I bet you that's in the stickers. You can get those out. So yeah, so these two. So using together, I've got lots of options here for the embellishment clusters. So they have one over here on the left with some and they're using those circles to put them off of, right? And then they have some words across. You can see they're using little hearts and things and putting them on the little circles. So anything that's in your sticker pack, you can do that. Another little heart here. Up here they have like the autumn vibes with the leaf, and again another little heart on the circle, and then down here also. So lots of options for how to put your embellishments. See what you've got. Use those circles to kind of highlight some of your little stickers. See, I keep moving them straight, like they're on an angle, I keep putting them straight. So again, here's our project recipe for the Golden Harvest collection, and I think that's going to look really nice with our hiking pictures in the canyon. I have to remember to take all my pictures horizontally because these are all horizontal pictures, not vertical. And again, let me bring in this one for one more look. And so that's the one actually using, of course I forget the name of it, I knew, Let the Good Times Roll. So hope that was fun. I hope you, let me see your pages. You can post those on my Scrapbook with Denise Facebook group. Please make sure you're following me there. Ask to join that group. If you don't have a consultant, I would love to be your Creative Memories consultant. Just reach out to me. All the links are below in this this video, as well as at the top of my page. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. And I can't believe that we are already on week 38. I have to start thinking about what we want to do for next year. So thanks for joining me, and happy scrapping, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.